Hi, welcome back to Prepping in Progress. I'm Steve,
And I'm Kim.
and today we're going to be talking about
Cash.
cash. Cash is king. In God we trust, all others pay cash.
But mostly we're talking about bugging out and cashing in order to help you to resupply along your bug out.
That kind of cash?
That kind of cash.
Not green cash?
Not Greek.
Not gold cash?
Not gold cash.
Cash cash.
Cash. Cachet.
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 Cachet. Okay, so we've talked about bug out bags, we've talked about bugging out, we've talked about different distances of travel. We've talked about having a bug out location if you're going before you have a bug out bag. So we're going to get into it a little bit deeper today with, let's say you've got a 100, 200, 300 mile bug out to do. First, you're going to want to do it by vehicle, if at all possible. But heaven forbid, you've got to go by foot. How are you going to cut down on the weight that you're carrying? On the Appalachian Trail, in particular, but many trail hikes and through hikes, people will resupply every 3 days. So that's kind of what the principle we've been looking at, and we want to try to apply to bugging out is today.
Yeah, because looking at my bug out bag, I was really trying to carry as much food as possible, but it does weigh you down and it does get heavy after a while. If you're trying to carry enough food for, say, a 10 to 12 day bug out, if you're having to go by foot, which is not out of the realm of possibility. We live in a very large country, so bugging out can consist to even 50 to 100 to 200 miles very easily and still be within your state. But not only that, but say you have a disability that stops you from being able to carry large amounts of weight, or you're just not up to that kind of shape to being able to carry large amounts of food, even 3 days worth of food. It can get overwhelming for somebody who is not used to that. So a good alternative to having to carry that much weight is caching along the way. Now, the principle of a cache is to have a resupply at strategic locations. Now, these locations are going to be mapped out. Hopefully, you've already come up with your bug out location, wherever it may be, whether it's 2 days away or 10 days away. And having routes in order to get there already planned out.
Well, keep in mind, too, a 15-mile bug out. Easy day's walk. Some people do 20 to 30 miles in a day. Could turn into a 3 or 4 day hike depending on the type of natural disaster. You're talking earthquake, hurricane, flood. Suddenly you're rerouting to go around new obstacles that you never thought of before.
Or you're having to go off road, which can really slow down your pace as well if you're having to stay off the roads and possibly hike through certain areas. It could easily turn into a much longer extended bug out than you were planning on or that you have supplies for in your bag. So, like I said, definitely want to come up with your location first, have routes planned out for that location, have alternate routes planned out for that location, and along that route, map out how many miles you would generally walk in that day and have caches planted out. Now, a few ideas that we've come up with are, we've been looking around for good ideas for what do you put your cache in. Once you get your location that you want to put your cache in to resupply, what do you possibly want to carry in it? Now, in order to pick out what kind of cache that you may need, first you want to figure out, just like you would with a bug out bag, you don't go buy the bag first and then fill it up. You know what you want to put into the bag first. So with your same thing with your cache, know what you want to be resupplied with first. So whether it's food, ammo, coffee, which that would be like every mile for me. And so you would want to know what you're wanting to put in it and then find the right container for your resupply. Now, if you just need a single person by yourself, say you're just trying to get back to your family, if you're on business trips quite often to the same location. I know a lot of people work far from home. And if for some reason you are going to have to walk to get back home and you're just by yourself, or walk to your bug out location, and you just need a one man, we found these great little waterproof containers that are actually hold quite a bit. Like I said, they are waterproof. It's used a lot in people with kayaking and boating and things like that to keep different supplies in. But it's perfect for a one person to be able to have, say, just a quick resupply of food, of ammo could fit in here, an emergency ration bar, or anything like that. Whatever you're wanting to individualize your cache for, they lock right on up. And like I said, they are waterproof, and you would find a strategic location to be able to place something like this, whether it be under a pile of rocks that you pass by quite often or whatever. And we'll go into actually scouting locations for where to place your cache. But finding a little container like this is a great option for, say, a single person. But I think, honestly, even for a couple of people, you can put a lot of oatmeal packets in that thing. But we found these at Walmart in a bunch of different sizes. I shouldn't say the big box store. They're not sponsoring me. But that would definitely be a great option for a smaller resupply along the way. Now, for, say, if you're bugging out like us, we have a family of 4. And if we're wanting to resupply a large family, we would need a larger cache. Now, we found a really great option, again, in the boating section at the big box store. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's almost an ammo can design. But because it's used for boating, it is waterproof.
Now, it's bright orange. You could paint it yourself. Something else, I was talking to a electric repairman a while back who works in a rural area, and he was telling me that he has multiple caches set out around his jurisdiction so that if something goes wrong, he can get there. This can is really neat because it's got a little tool crib on top, and then
now that section's not waterproof. So
that's not waterproof. We're not saying it is, but it comes with a handy dandy tray as well.
These run for just under $20 if you're looking for a quick $20 prep. And you could just resupply this with things that you say you already have around the house. It would be great size for MREs. It would be a great size. You could even stand up water bottles in here. But there's enough room in here for a large family to resupply their bug out bags. But it is a great option. And like I said, being waterproof, you could store it and put it just about anywhere to be able to hide it, but where you will be able to find it. Another cheap option, if you're not looking for something that's waterproof, but will do just fine as a cache, is one of the ammo cans. And there's a couple different options for ammo cans. You can do the old school metal ammo can, heavy duty if it's in a rocky area or anything like that. A nice heavy duty ammo can. But like I said, it isn't waterproof, so I would suggest either doing a vacuum seal or mylaring or something like that where it's sealed up to where you can waterproof your food inside of one of these. But again, it's a cheap option. You can usually find them for, like, so we got this one at a yard sale for $5. And so it's a nice, quick, easy option that's easy to fill up. And again, you can put MREs or just random food. MREs would be great because they're already sealed up and you can just line it up with MREs that are already, you don't have to worry about being waterproof.
And if you're handy with the Flex Seal, go for it and create your own gasket.
But you can also even go for the plastic ammo cans. Again, these are like $5. Even brand new, they're only $5.
Yes.
And so if you want to look for a little cheap, quick option, again, this one isn't waterproof, but it would be perfect to put, like I said, already vacuum sealed items in it, or MREs, anything that you're looking to resupply with along the way.
A couple of still in the package space blankets.
Yeah, anything that you might need if you're worried about, say something happens to your little water purification, if you want a extra one in one of your caches just in case you're worried about one breaking down, or extra water purification tablets, if you're worried about water. Or some of the larger ones, you can store an extra bottle in there that you can use just in case you lose yours.
Or a fire starting kit from Black and White Fire Starters. Don't hurt me.
But anything you think that you might need to resupply with along your route, if you don't think you're able to carry enough of it along the way, or if you're worried about losing it along the way, say an extra ferro rod, or like I said, whether it's food or water or any of your or shelters, an extra tarp, or anything along the way that you're worried about getting damaged for long extended bug outs. You definitely want to consider the option of having caches along your route. And like I said, the bright orange ones may not appeal, but I like it because I can spot it from a mile away. I know what it is. Nobody else is really going to know what it is. But there are options to be able to hide it and camouflage it and find ways to...
Spray paint is your friend.
But you want to make sure it's nice and easy to find. But yeah, if I say they're super easy to find ways to fill it up with whatever you're going to need, whatever your family might be needing. An extra pair of socks even that you're worried about not having enough. But you don't want to overload your bug out bag with so many things that it's going to make it more difficult. You're going to be slower because the objective is to get out quickly. It is to get moving quickly. And if you're carrying a 30-pound pack, even if it's in great shape, you might do great on the first day. But that second day, that third day, it's going to really start weighing you down, having that much food or supplies weighing you down. So having caches along the way, so that way as you're moving along, your pack is getting lighter, then you resupply, you move along a little bit further, and you're able to keep moving. And that's the main objective. You want to get to your bug out location as quick as possible and keep moving and not having things weigh you down where you're sore. Another thing, soreness. Having some medical supplies in one of these is another great option. But just anything you would put into a bug out bag or want to resupply your bug out bag with, put into a cache.
You don't have to empty the cache.
Yeah. If you don't need it, leave it. But if you think you might, and it's better to have it ready to go in a strategic location along the way.
And keep in mind, too, that if you have to turn around and come back or to link up with a family member and you haven't touched that cache, it's still there for you.
Yeah.
Or them.
Or if there's multiple people on the same route. Say you're walking one route and you've got other people in your mag that may be walking the same route. You may have strategic caches for the whole mag.
And another thing to go along with that is communication. These are great dead letter drop boxes.
Yeah.
Where you just leave a note and you say, hey, this is Steve, made it to mile marker 228, headed west.
Leave the date and things like that. That way you're able to communicate with people on your route as well.
And someone trying to find you, trying to catch up with you, they have directions to follow.
But definitely want to look at dropping caches in strategic locations along your bug out route. That way, like I said, you don't want to be weighing yourself down, even if it's just for a 3-day bug out. And say you've got a really easy, okay, I got my 3-day pack, I got a 3-day bug out. Super easy, have everything in my backpack. You never know how a 3-day bug out can turn into a week-long bug out pretty easily from having to maneuver or bad weather or whatever you may come across. Having strategic caches along the way, even if you don't use them, definitely is a great prep.
And I think she said it all.
All right, thank y'all again for liking and subscribing, and all of our new subscribers. I wanted to say hi because we're growing quite a bit, and we're really grateful for that. But like I said, we'll probably do another video of us going out and actually scouting locations and I'll give you all some quick tips on where some good, nifty hiding places. And I don't know if anybody's ever gone out and scouted for a cache and where to place a cache, but it's really kind of fun, and I'll show you a quick little, probably a little jaunt to show you how we scout locations for placing a cache and fun and intriguing ways to hide them. And so, but if y'all don't mind, to say, keep the likey sharey thing going on, and we'll keep growing. And if this was helpful, if you've got any more comments or things to add, let us know in the comments. Have you started placing your own caches? How's it going? So let us know in the comments. We love interacting with everybody.
I'm good. Love you all. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.